Guys, I'm telling you. So the twins, today's the first day that the twins are going to nursery, and I've been sitting in the car park, and I know that you guys have had, maybe have had experience like this, so you can give me some, even though I've had this before. I have 5 girls, but this has been the longest that I have been the main carer for the twins. So it's been really, really hard. And so I'm sat in the car park of the nursery, and I am just, Annalise, I called already, and I was told that Annalise is doing a little better than Amara, but it is hard. It is hard. And you know what I've been reading to get through, and I'll share this with you. I spoke about If by Rudyard Kipling. So I'll share that with you, because that's a point that has kept me. I've been sitting here reading it. So it says, I'm trying to adjust this for the best. So it says, if you can keep your head when all about you, and I think I'm going to close the window. Let's close the window because there's just so much interference. Okay, I think that's better. So if you can keep your head, no, we don't need music on. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. So if you can keep your head, just be grounded and not get upset, and there will be people who blame you for things. But if you can keep your head, if you can keep grounded, and, when everyone around you, especially now when everything is happening, it's hard to just stay focused and keep grounded on the things that are important. But if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, have that self-confidence, know what you need. And I speak a lot about having self-confidence and that value you've placed on yourself, knowing that you're priceless, knowing that God created you as a masterpiece, and pouring those things in yourself. Reading the Bible is so inspirational because it tells us how we're wonderfully and fearfully made. It tells us how God has, done so much for us, and He has created us in His image. So it's really, really effective just to read your Bible and have that focus. And it says, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet look too good, not talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, right? So we all have visions and we all have dreams, but we're not making them. Our masters. We're not making them. What does it mean to not make something your master? What does it mean? So you're not making it yes, it is a part of you. Yes, you're aspirational, but you still are grounded, and you still know that there's idealism and realism. And I was speaking to my children about the different concepts of idealism, and speaking about the fairy tales, how, things. Tiana said to them, Tiana had a dream, and she was working all hours. She didn't have much money, And how the story unfolds, that was idealistic. She had that dream of having that restaurant and doing all those things that she had with her dad. And then it wasn't until she met her prince. And I know it's a fairy tale, but I think for me, my takeaway from that, teamwork. You really need to have your mastermind group, and that one, even if it's one person, your mastermind group, that you can say, okay, we're going to be doing this together. We're on the same path. It's really good. That's why it's good to have a partnership, maybe a husband or a boyfriend or someone who's on the same page as you. You can work together. It does help having a team. So her idealism became realism. He helped her to, he didn't have much money because he was a prince, not having much money, but then, you know, he helped her, and that was okay. So let's continue, because I have really, as I said, been focusing on this poem. Growing up, this was one of my favorite poems. Just like if looked at my video with when I looked at sorry, keeps cutting off. I don't know. The connection may not be that good. Yes, so if you looked at my other poem, Not If, Invictus, that was one of my favorites as well. So this is a second one, right? So we were on, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. So if you can look at your dreams and they're not what you wanted them to be, they're broken, and you have to start all over again. But can you do that? If you have that inner strength to start that over again when you have looked at what you have built, that is strength, he says. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. And the last stanza, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. So it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who you're talking to, you're acting the same way, you're equal. It doesn't matter if it's the queen or if it's the beggar, you have that same personality, that same, you're not putting on airs, you're that same person. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, and sometimes we know that our friends, the one we think are our friends, they're actually our foes. You know, so, but they can't hurt you. If all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So if you can do all of that, he's saying, yes, you have it, you have done it. And it talks about tenacity, it talks about that will to go on, it talks about a lot of things, about virtue, etc. So yes, this is one of my favorites as well. Yes, I am happy that you joined, and if you haven't, this is going to be on the channel so you can. So after reading that did help me. So what are you focusing on today? What things are you meditating on that's keeping you strong? And that's what I wanted to just hop on this and say, because for me it is, and it has been, you know, focusing on like these kind of poems that I've always focused on. I'm thinking about the positive. I know that, as I said before, Annalise is more settled in there now, and Amara just called in, and Amara, no, she is taking it really hard. You know, this is, I did a few settling days, but this is the only day that I've actually left them. I've done days where I have, you know, stayed and played, so they got used to it. But as soon as we entered the nursery, they knew that, look, something is up. And then, you know, but they will be okay. I have hope. And it's awful for me having to leave them as a mom. So what I would say is, I'm going to be giving you updates. I'm going to be calling in now, so I'll just hop off the live, call in and check on them again. But thanks for being with me and going through, sharing this with me. Bye for now. See you in the next one.